You can do everything in your music studio. You can teach the lessons, you can do billing, scheduling, you can do it all. But in order to truly grow your music studio, you can't do it all. You have to identify what are the tasks that only you should be doing and what else can you delegate out to your staff. Now, look, we're all at different stages of our studio growth. Maybe you're the only teacher right now. Maybe you have 6 teachers working for you. Even if you're the only teacher in your studio, you still need to have a game plan as to what your studio will look like and how it will operate when your studio is bigger and you have a bigger staff. This is making the assumption that that is your goal. I'm making the assumption that your goal is to grow your studio as large as possible. Even if that is not your goal, but you want to keep it small but a well-oiled machine, everything that I'm going to say now will apply to your situation. Okay, so the 4 things that you should be doing and only you should be doing, or at least designing and developing and implementing. Maybe other people can implement it, but the designing of it and the management of it should come from you. Those things are marketing, salesmanship, developing systems, and enhanced customer experience. And I'll break down each one of those. So marketing, I like to think of it as broadcasting your message out to your community, letting them know who you are, what you do, and how you can be a positive impact in their lives. You need to identify a problem they have in their lives. You need to identify something that they're searching for and articulate it in a way that's going to give them better understanding of what they want. That builds trust and establishes you as an expert, and they will become so much more likely to want to become a customer of yours. That's external marketing. Then there's internal marketing. Internal marketing isn't necessarily selling people on buying more at your studio. That might be a part of it. More importantly, it's letting your current students know what it is that you believe in. What values do you have when it comes to music education, and what are your hopes for your students? The more you can express that and articulate it to your students, the more likely they are to trust you, and again, view you as an expert. Even though you've maybe established that on the front end through your initial marketing, once they're inside your business, you still need to market to them and educate them. Okay, so that's marketing, step 1. The second area you need to always be working on is salesmanship. I used to think of sales as just a conversation that I would have with a prospective student. I would tell them about my school and hope to find a program that was the best fit for them. But the true art of salesmanship is so much bigger than that. I mean, think of when you were 20 years old and you were going on a date with somebody. There was a sales exchange going on. You were trying to sell yourself to the person, and that person was trying to sell themselves to you. You were also busy each one of you were checking each other out to see if this was a potential relationship worth pursuing. Most likely at 20, you just talked the whole time about you and things that you're into. That's typically what a young business owner will do, is they'll tell the prospective student, oh, well, let me tell you all about my school. And they tell you all about it, and the person's trying to pay attention and listen. And by the time, let's say you were 26, 27 going on a date, you probably had a little bit more of a strategy, or hopefully you did. And hopefully you, instead of talking the whole time about you, hopefully you were asking the person you were on a date with about them, about their interest, and then following it up with additional questions with the hope of making them feel good about themselves and enjoying the conversation. even though you were driving the conversation with questions. Through those questions, you're able to obtain the information that you wanted about the person. It's the same with sales. By asking questions about what your prospect's looking for and what their needs are, you're then able to go, okay, well, now that I understand your needs and your wants and your desires, here's how our service fits with that. And there's a whole art to salesmanship. You have to learn it, you have to master it, and then share your knowledge and wisdom on to your staff. We got marketing covered, we got sales covered. Now let's talk about systems. Systems is basically mapping out how everything in your studio needs to operate, and things that are time sensitive. For example, you've got a spring recital. When do you start marketing for that? When do you announce it to your students? When do you need program information from your teachers? What information do you need from your teachers? What are all the things that are going to do leading up to the recital? And then what are all the steps that have to take place during the recital? Document those things as they happen in real time. If you sit down with a piece of paper and try to map it all out, it won't happen. I devoted a year of just making it a point to document every move I made in the studio, putting it down in a spreadsheet. And then when I got back to the next January of the next year, I said, okay, these are all the steps that I made last year. Let me add to these, or we're not doing this anymore. And now it's a constant work in progress. If you rely on your memory to run your studio, you are setting yourself up for big problems, because you can't guarantee that you're going to be around forever. None of us are. At some point, you might want to hand your studio off to your kids to run. You might want to sell it, or God forbid, something might happen to you that prevents you from running your studio. But your family still needs income. If your school is systematized, it can run on autopilot without you. And an even more simple idea is, what if you go on vacation and you don't want the office to call you? You don't want to check email. If your school's systematized, mapped out, your business will run on autopilot. Okay, so we got marketing, we got sales, we got systems. Now let's talk about customer experience. Customer experience is different than customer service. Customer service is how this maybe isn't a perfect definition, but how attentive you are to your customers' needs, calling them back in a timely fashion, and sort of adhering to some basic professional standards of customer service. Customer experience is a much more emotional deal. It's really, how are your customers feeling and reacting to your business? And you can systematize these things. You have, think of your business as a culture or a tribe. Every culture, every tribe has symbols, they have events, there's things that they do within their community to make them who they are. You're more than just music lessons. The recital is a great example of an opportunity to enhance customer experience. Sending home birthday cards or calling people on their birthday. Having a featured student of the week on Facebook. Having a summer barbecue for your school. These are ways to enhance their experience, and those special moments create lifelong memories. And your students will remember the summer barbecue more and for a longer period of time than they'll remember the first time they played a major scale on the piano. It's a different experience. It's also, those experiences are what makes you more unique. If you're just teaching music lessons and your competitor down the street's teaching music lessons, what makes you different? But if you have barbecues, and if you have 3 or 4 times a year, a Saturday night social night where everyone comes and they watch a movie and they eat pizza, or you have an open jam session. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you special. Your competitor's not doing that. Keep an eye on what they're doing and going, okay, what can we do that really makes for a unique experience for them? Notice that I've yet to talk about music at all. Nothing here is about music. Actually, everything I'm talking about could be applied to any business. If you're only focused on music, you're missing the point. If you're only teaching music, you're missing the point. You want to get music out to as many kids as possible. And you want to make as much money as possible. It's a good deal. The more kids that are learning music, the more you're able to pass on your gift to them, and the more money you can make. But in order to accomplish those things, you have to have these 4 components in place: marketing, sales, systems, and customer experience. Everything outside of that, you should delegate to other people. So I hope you got some value from this video today. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you can keep up with all of our videos. Have a great day.